Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil Crafts. So I have bought 3 of these various paper pads from the range. I think I've got this one, this one that you saw me use some of when I did the art journal page for ABBA, and I also have this one here, the unicorn one. But today I thought I was just in the mood for making some mixed media. I have got a fly accompanying me in the loft, so if some random black stuff flashes before the screen, that may very well be what it is. So I thought I would make a little collection of mixed media cards, because that's kind of what I'm in the mood for. Sorry, I'm just going to deal with this fly. Okay, so while I was off camera, I have just cut down. I've ended up going, because I did have 4 7x7 cards out, but I've now got 7x7 and a 5x5. So we'll be making a sort of bigger one and mini one, similar colours. Just purely because it was A4 paper, I couldn't fit the 2 cards out of it, and I was loath to chop into some different papers. So now all I'm going to do is distress my edges with my scissors, and I actually want bits like this, so I probably will be deliberately creating bits like that. Oops. Okay, but I will just pop you on fast forward while I continue. Okay, so what I've done is pulled out some other papers from the paper set, and I'm just cutting little strips and then distressing one edge of that, the same as we have with the full piece, and then I'm just going to pop it behind there so that we've created a bit of interest behind that area that we tore. Okay. And then the next thing I am going to do is I am going to get some of my thread. I'll just pop all this to the side so that the screen's not looking too busy for you. Okay, so I have got some of my thread, and it's just cheap cream cotton thread, and I'm just going to wrap a whole load of it around like this. I'm not thinking about it too much. I don't even know, don't have a plan for the card. So at the minute, because I know I want a mixed media feel, I'm just creating a bit of texture. I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to attempt to glue that down a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to put some glue on it. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges, because then that gives me the ability to tuck things behind. As we saw, I was forgetting that when I did my at the ABBA party night journal page, and yeah, I kept forgetting about little details like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to stick that down. Now I'm actually going to use the same formula for all the cards, but just kind of differ the embellishment slightly. So because you've seen it, I'm just going to put a bit more glue because that's not quite stuck, so I'll just add a bit of extra in there. Okay, and then I am going to do the exact same thing to the rest of the cards. Okay, so I've done that step with all the cards. The other thing I've done is sometimes I find when you've kind of done a whole load of distress edges like this, the white background can sometimes look a little bit stark. So to kind of tie it in a bit more, sometimes I'll just, not as much as I would have done the paper, but just ever so lightly distress the edge of the actual card base, and it just ends up giving the overall card a more cohesive look. Now the other thing I've done is pull out a couple of stencils and some gesso, and I am just going to add a little bit of gesso to this project. Okay, just because I want to, really, just because I'm in the mood for making a real mixed media. I feel like I've not done anything overly mixed media-ish in a while, and I'm missing it. So I am just going to pop some bits and pieces on like so, just roughly. And then I might just do it like a tiny bit of dry brushing. So again, when I'm dry brushing, I am tapping it in my lid. I've got my hand quite high up the paintbrush, and I am just very loosely and very quickly going across the page, and that just kind of gives a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a distressed feel. Okay, so I am going to do the same thing on all the other cards, and I'll just pop you on fast forward while I do that. Okay, so I've popped a whole load of elements out of those sheets. I'm just going to do one card at a time at this stage because my brain doesn't do more than that, but we've kind of done the background sort of similar. So I'm wanting this fox as the feature, I think. And then I thought what I would try and do is just build up some of these elements behind her. She's just gorgeous. Look at those little flowers in her hair. Adorable, adorable. So I'm thinking that the other thing as well is I had some of these little scraps left over from when I was doing this bit here, filling in the background, so I've pulled those out and I might use those. So let's just have a little play. I want to try and pull these up the side of the card to make some sort of display. Actually, maybe we could have I love acorns. I want to try and save some of these because I think they go lovely with my little Anise Oakley. So now, yeah, I think that looks okay. The other thing I have is I may just put a couple of bits like that just to add interest, just because I can, and why not? Yeah, okay. The other thing I have is I've got some little range. I've started doing Little Birdie products. Fantastic. I was just wondering whether to include. Okay, I like these, but I'm not quite sure whether they're going to fit in okay. Okay, I think what I will do is, I'm liking that idea, so what I'm going to do is let's get this little fox on. Now I want to try and raise her up quite a bit. So I'm pretty sure I should have some packaging pretty close by. Yep. Okay. So let's grab some packaging. I'd probably been better with my Tim Holtz scissors, but they're still in my other bag from when I took my class. Thank you everybody that came to the class. It was lovely to have you. I have another one running next, not this Friday. This Friday I am going to a craft retreat. I am so excited. So excited. But the Friday after we will be doing another class, and this time we will be making a junk journal that we will be using for the next couple of weeks to do lots of art projects in, so that should be fun. Okay, so I am just going to use a little cardboard, a little bit of packaging, and I am just think I'm going to double amount that. While I am at this, our lovely Sarah, I'll actually maybe pop her channel thing in the link below. Not that it's related to this video at all, but she's a new member of the Dream Team, and what's made me think of it is this is very autumnal, and she has done the most amazing autumn themed banner. But I was just thinking of her because she used packaging to lift it up. So I'm wanting this little fox quite high, which is why I've done it with packaging rather than my normal 3D foam that I like to use. Just purely because I want to be able to tuck lots and lots of things behind it. Now I probably should have shaped her before I pop that last bit of glue on, but you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so let's just pop her down like that. Lovely. Okay, and then we can start building in around her. So I definitely like this little sign. Okay. And as random as these bits were, I did quite like them, so I'm going to go for that. We know I like random, so. Let's put a bit of, just all these little things just add tiny touches of extra interest, which is always fun. Okay. I'll do the same on this side, just to give an element of symmetry and cohesion. Oops. And then we will start to layer. So I think I'm going to try and layer some elements of the paper kit with some of the things from the 13 arts. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to put these quite flat, and then we can shape some of the other ones just so that didn't finish, just so that we've got sort of various heights and widths. I'm just going to cut that so that, because I want to tuck it a bit closer to those berries. There we go. And then if I cut round that like so, we can use that just here. Okay, then I'm thinking that maybe if we tuck some of these in, so where the cardboard is, it's kind of created a bit of a barrier, so I can't tuck it fully in. So just to deal with that, that's why I just chopped a couple of the leaves off, because it's not going to make a difference to the overall appearance. In fact, it means I've got those spare leaves then that I can tuck in various places. They feel really funny. It's like little polystyrene balls or something. Very cute. I like. I'm just going to add a bit of extra texture. Okay, let's come in with some of these other things now. Right, so now I'm going to start needing to pop some of these onto, add a bit more dimension to them so that they kind of look right in the positioning of it all. So I've just chopped down my 3D foam slightly. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that third one off because it's just making a bit too big for that area there, and then again I can use that. That's looking good. Okay, so we'll pop that in as well. I need to give her some sort of base. At the minute she's just sort of floating. I keep calling it a him, and then it's got roses in its hair, so it must be a girl. And boys can have roses in their hair too, I'm sure. Okay. So I was going to have this one up here, wasn't I? Yeah. I like that. And I just, this is the fact she's floating is just bothering me somewhat, so we will need to address it. I think I need some embellishments going over her. Haha. That may very well be it, except I think I was using that big one up there. Okay. Right. But yes, I realised what was different from when I was doing it before to doing it now is at the minute I've not layered anything over the fox, so we need to just address that now. So I still have some mushrooms left that we can do that with. So I've got this big mushroom here. I know there's a bit missing, but we'll cover that with something else. That's alright. Just cover it with another mushroom. So this is really quite dimensional. I don't know if you can see. It's quite dimensional. So it's nice. Okay, so I'm popping another mushroom on there when I can get the 3D foam off. Right, do we want to? Yeah, that's quite cute. Okay. Yeah, and then I think if I put that there, I'll just stick that on with glue. I'll stick that flat because it's already getting quite high there, but I'll just stick it to the fox. And then we can maybe tuck a little, well, maybe I think it does need a bit of 3D foam. Sorry, I'm faffing. This is why I'm not trying to do all 4 cards at the same time, because as I said, my brain doesn't really work like this. I used to never ever do that. I always used to just make 1 card at a time. But kind of, I think Dawn made it, we did the 10 cards, so Dawn kind of challenged me in that area a little bit. And it was good, it worked out okay. So, oh, so pretty. So pretty. Oh yes, right, so it's amazing how one little leaf like that can make a difference, because it just changes the shape. We've got a really nice shape coming round now. So I like that. Perfect. Tell you, half the time I can't get this glue to work, and now it's just pouring out like there's no tomorrow. Okay. I likey. Okay, so I need to do a little bit of dry brushing, I think. And then I'll probably do some paint splatters later when I undo all of the cards together for that. Okay, so I'm just going to, oops, need to stick that down a little bit better clearly. think it was just the angle that it's at. So. Okay. Right, so yeah, I just want to do a little bit of dry brush. It's great now, I'm at the bottom of the pot of this indigo blue one, and it's really, really thick, but it's perfect. The lovely Dawn has managed to get hold of some 13 Arch Gesso, and I know she's sending some my way, so I'm absolutely delighted about that. It's just, so again, because we put a little bit of the gesso and stuff in the background, this is just going to kind of neat it all together and sort of tie it in, and I just think it helps to add to that fabulous shabby chicy look that we've got going on. And I think, yeah, so just here and there, little bits of details. I'm going quite fast. I've got my, I'm holding the brush quite high. Okay, I want to try and get a bit more on these little flowers here. Because again, they're from a different kit, so like all the colour tones for everything sort of ties in, but those are from a slightly different kit. And again, these sort of green leaves, because they're quite dark in comparison to everything else. Okay, I think I will just go ahead and do the splashes. Right, get myself some water. Okay, and let's do some splashes, because I just think all shabby chic things look so much better once they've got a few splashes on them. Oh, I really love how that's turned out. That's great. Okay. Okay, so I will pause the camera now and get some bits and bobs ready for the next card. Okay, so I've pulled out some more bits and bobs, and again, I've got some of these little leftover papers. I may as well use them up and go on a card, otherwise they end up in a bit box, so I'm just going to use them to layer up. So I'm just going to stick them down now, and then we'll work with whatever we have. Okay. And then let's do some up here as well. I can always move it if I don't like it later. I always tend to make it work anyway. I always like, if I don't like a project, it's just my ethos, I just have to keep going until I do like it. So it's okay if you're not loving it, and just take a step back. Sometimes even if you leave it for a day or two, take a step back and suddenly you'll be like, oh, that's what it needs. I get really upset when I hear of people binning their projects. Right, so again, I'm just thinking of layering up different elements to create a bit of interest. Maybe actually if I put the leaves behind. Yeah, I think something like that could be quite pretty, so let's just stick all of that down. Okay, so I thought I'd taken all the pips off so you weren't watching me just remove pips, but obviously not. And I can't abide them. Can't abide the pips, they drive me mad. They're just, I put those mushrooms down flat, and I've given a slight bit of shape to these ones, and I'll probably kind of put more and more shape in the various elements as I build it up. Right, I think I'll do the same. Actually, I don't think it needs building up as much because we don't have as many layers as we did in the other card. So let's just use the 3D foam for this one. Okay, so even though I use 3D foam, I will be putting a bit of wet glue just on the back, just because it gives that little bit of wiggle room, so you've got more chance to sort of manoeuvre it into place, to make sure that you're really happy with it. actually, I just want to, because I'm losing the mushrooms a little bit, let's bring that down. Okay. Right, I'm going to create a bit of shape to this flower, so I'm just going to cut into those petals a little bit. And then shape. Give that a bit more shape, and then I will tuck it behind the deer. Because then we can just lift the individual petals up. So it's a really easy way of, if you've got a flat flower, just sort of adding a little bit of dimension. Now I'm just going to tuck that behind a little bit, so that side will be slightly flatter, but that's okay. So we'll just pop a bit of glue on that, and then tuck that behind our little dough there. Okay. And then I'm thinking, because we've got the thread there, let's add a bit of thread. I was doing this sort of trick a lot on the with the embellishments that I created with Dawn, which really need to go in the poster. I will be doing that at some point today. Right, big dob of glue. And then the other thing that I might put in at this point is these swirly bits. This is great. I love making little metal swirls, so the fact I've got some sort of done for me is amazing. Loving that. Now I'm thinking I'm probably going to need to pull out my pinfilier glue just to make sure all of that sticks properly. Oh dear. The air has got to it. Okay, so I managed to rescue it and I've stuck it down. Okay, now I do like those little swirls, but they are looking quite stark, but this is where doing a bit of the dry brushing really helps. So I'm going to make sure that they get plenty of gesso. I've still got a bit of movement in that because it's not quite dry yet, but let's just add a bit more gesso. I quite like doing it on bits that, you know, between the blue and the edges of the paper, because it sort of marries it together. It makes it look whole, makes it look one, like it's meant to be. A bit of extra thread there that seems to be running away. Oops, and doing its own thing. Might be better using my new hot glue gun tool, I think. Right. There we go. But we can sort it, it's not a problem. Right. There we go. Okay, and then finally some splatters. And that's the second one done. So I thought for a change for this one we could just go for a nice simple floral card. So again, scraps that have got little torn edges, I'm just going to stick them down. I'm not thinking about it overly much, I'm just plonking them down so that we've got a bit of interest in the background. As I said, for me, I like there to be lots of layers and interest. So we've got the paper, we've got the bit behind, we've got the thread, we've got the gesso stencils. Now there's this big flower, so I thought, let's just, why not make a nice simple floral card. So again, what I'm going to do is cut into this so that we can create quite a bit of dimension. I'm just cutting round the petals like so, and then we just pull the petal up, and then I'm just rolling it in my finger just to, so I'm just pushing down and then rolling it in my finger like so, and then that's just going to give us a lot more movement to the flower. Now there was also these sort of little berry sprigs, and I love the combo of the red and that soft teal together, so I thought I would maybe go with that. And we've got this banner that we could maybe fit in somewhere. Let's see, what other flowers have we got here? I don't know with this. No, quite happy with that one, I think. Let's have a play. Just going to try snipping into this, because then it would just fit there. That's quite a bit off the... Yeah, feel free to chop into your embellishments. If they're not quite working for you, just give them a little chop. We can still put that in, we just maybe need to bring it round a little bit. So I'm just going to create a new curve on that, and then we'll bring it into where it's working for us. Here we go, and it's not quite hanging off the card quite as much. Or the other thing I've got is a little vellum. That's okay. If I've chopped into that sentiment and then I ended up not using it on this, that's okay. I'll still save it. It can still be used chopped up somewhere else, so never worry if you change your mind. Just struggling, tearing this slightly. I think the way you have to chop them out, you kind of have to chop them out the book. It's kind of, they're not at very straight angles to be able to sort of chop them out in a nice straight way on a guillotine. So, and I either think it should be, oh yeah, I like that. Right, let's take this out. Let's try and use, what I'll maybe try and do is use that sentiment on the next card to show that if it's not working on one project, it can work on another one for us. Yes, that's so pretty. Right, and I think okay, let's glue that down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a tiny bits of glue where there is some writing, because it will show through. So I just want a tiny bit there, and then this side I'm just going to stick a little bit on the edge there, and then we will attempt to cover that with our embellishment. So I'll tuck it as far over there as I can. Okay, I've just realised I've not finished tearing that bottom bit. There we go. Oh, typical, that's the phone going. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I will stick these little leaves down. Now to me they're just a bit too bright for the project, but I will knock those back with the gesso. Okay. I'll stick these down like so. Oops. Okay. Right, I also think I'm going to do the thread trick again for behind this flower. Oops. Doesn't matter that I've got the thread coming off from both sides. I don't quite know what's happening there. That's at the end of the roll anyway. Now I've got a plastic spool to alter. That'll be coming in the next project. I may as well just use all that up then. There we go. Okay. Let's put a big blob. I'll pick that time. I'm actually thinking maybe because we've got that gold there as well as the cream thread. Ooh, sorry, rattling a tin next to a microphone. That's just what all of your ears needed, wasn't it? Right. Let's add some gold thread in the mix there as well. Okay. Ooh, nice. Okay. I love the fact it looks a complete and utter mess when it's like that, and then 2 seconds later when you stick the flower down it just becomes this tiny detail. Okay, move that over a little bit. There we go. Oops. And we'll pop that in there, like so. And then that little flower. So I'm going to do some dry brushing, and actually I think on this one I am going to do some gold splashes. Because I think, oh, sorry, I thought I'd put that right in the camera, but I'd actually put it in front of my face, not in front of the camera. So that whole dramatic ooh was for nothing. Okay, so I'm going to really knock those leaves back because they're just far too bright for this project. But this is the wonders of a gesso. I believe a gesso is an essential for everybody's crafting kit. Because you can just do so much with it. And sometimes I find like I get a project that's really not working for me, and sometimes just popping a bit of gesso on and knocking some of it back and blending the elements together, it's amazing the difference it makes. So I do highly recommend having some form of gesso in your stash. Now because I use a wet glue, it's still drying, which is why I'm sort of securing it a little bit. Yeah, so a bit of dry gesso and all of that. Now I have gone quite heavy handed on those leaves, but that is because I really wanted to knock it back. I wanted more than sort of a delicate brushing. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my this is one of my favourite golds for doing splashes with. This is my Kuretake paint. These are watercolour, but I do find that they are so pigmented. It's amazing, and I just love their gold. So I am just going to add a few gold splashes, and these are so metallic when they dry. I'm just going to turn my card so that my splashes are going in different directions, otherwise it can just look a bit odd. Okay, so that is a card number 3 done. Actually, while I'm at it, I'm just going to change these bits in the centre from silver to gold. Okay, so yes, I will be back with card number 4. Okay, so we're on to the 4th card, and I have picked up some elements. Now I already know I want the deer, and I want it about there, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. And I'm going to be making a lot of the embellishment elements 3D, so I'm just going to pop her or him down flat, definitely a him this time because we've got the antlers. Okay, and then I've got this sentiment, "You are awesome." So again, I'm just popping tiny bits of glue behind the lettering because that will show, and then I will put a bit of glue down the side, and I'm just going to tuck it behind his belly to stick that out. Spread a little bit, so there we go. Stick that down like so. Okay, and then I've just cut out a whole load of elements. I think I have well and truly taken all the sort of natural flowery sort of elements from the pad. So for my other makes I'm going to probably have to make lots of flowers, but I have gone very heavy handed with the embellishments, but why not? That's the fun of getting new stash, isn't it? So I was thinking that if we just sort of layered up a whole load of these and created a little thing for it to, sort of little woodland ground that will sit in, something like that, maybe. And then I've got this, but I don't like the antlers on it, so I was thinking that if I just sort of cut into it a little bit and remove the antlers, that we've kind of got like a floral spray that could maybe be used just at that top corner. I don't know, it just reminds me of antlers on the wall, and I've never liked that. So whether to have something just up at this part here, just to no, I don't like it that flower. I do like that, but I don't like the flower. My vellum's just popped up there. That we could have something like that just to frame the top. Right, I'm going to have to stick a bit more vellum and a bit more glue on this vellum. Oops. Okay. Righty-ho, so let's just get those elements popped down. Okay. And we'll just build it up as we go. I've already taken a lot of the pips and things off, so hopefully I'll not be faffing too overly much. As I said, I'm just trying to build this up, and I'll probably use some 3D foam for some of the foreground elements. Just again to create lots of dimension and interest. I think having different layers at different heights does just really make a big difference. Okay, let's put this rose on just a tiny bit of 3D foam. So I'm almost like framing. I'm just creating a little woodland frame, because if I just left it like it is now, it just looks like he's floating in the middle of air. So you need to ground it somehow. I always like to ground my images. Quite often if I'm colouring or something, I just even put a little bit of grey at the bottom. It's just things seem to look so much better if they're grounded properly. Okay, let's put up a bit of double that one up a little bit. Okay. Oops, can't even pick this up for toffee. Okay. So again, a bit more 3D foam on that one as well. Oops. It's just gone over the edge slightly, so I'll just need to trim that. Like so. Okay. Okey-dokey. I love mushrooms. I've got a real thing about mushrooms. Let me see. Do I have any more? I'll just take the leaf from that. I feel like I need a bit more greenery down here. So what I'm also trying to do is that there's not sort of gaps along the bottom there either, so it does look like there's sort of like a ground level. That's the other thing I'm doing. I'm sort of filling up all the spaces so it just looks like one continuous thing and there isn't funny gaps in amongst it. Okay. I'll pop that. I think we're kind of getting there. And then I just need to work out what I actually want to do with this top corner. I'm not loving it, to be honest. But we will see. Okay. I have to say I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with this kit. I'm looking forward to doing lots more with it. They're just such fun images. There's a sticker moose in there. Which I absolutely adore. He's gorgeous, so I definitely want to make something with him at some point. So I'm looking forward to having lots more fun with this kit because it is delightful. So I think it was £2.99 at the range. The one other exciting thing I've discovered about the range is because I had to do it for the class actually, because I found little Tupperware things that were really useful and they didn't have enough, is you can actually get stuff delivered to the store. So even if they don't have this paper, I think it costs £2 to get it delivered to the store, which obviously does put the price up a little bit. But if you're ordering a few things, then, you know, I suppose that's similar to postage that we'd maybe pay other places. Now what would I imagine that is? So if they don't particularly have these at your range, you might be able to order them into your store. Okay. Oops. Just needing a few more details and then I think we are almost there. Right in. Okay. There's a little gap here that I'm not overly happy about, so just pop a little acorn in there. Oops. Right. Okay. What do I want to do with this corner? Actually, I might just do something as simple as dropping it in half and doing, yeah, that'll do. And then actually I've not done it on all of the other cards for some bizarre reason, probably because it was like a shabby chic and a softer look, but I've not done any stitch detail on them, and I don't know, for this reason, I think because the paper's slightly darker, and also I don't have the other ones. I've sort of layered a few different sheets of papers on, whereas this one I haven't. It's just got the one main, and so again I'm just feeling that my eyes are going and you're not seeing it fully. So this is where the framing works. Black recedes to the back because it's a shadow, and it means it pushes all the other colours forward. And so it's amazing the difference having just a little black doodle or edging will make, because it forces your eye to look at the centre. That's just the way the brain works. Okay, so let me see. Do I want... Oh, decisions. Do I want gold splashes or white splashes? I need to do the white for the... Let's do some dry brushing. Oops, got the brush that needs washed. Okay. So again, I am going quite fast and I am holding my brush up quite high, and I am just catching the edges of that. Okay. Okay, I'll put some over here, blend that in. Okay, and then I think I will actually go with the white splashes. So I will just mix that with a little water. I need a little more. Oops. Let me see what I got that I can just cover up that sentiment. And then we will stick some white splashes, and again I'm just going to turn it, because if all your splashes go in one direction it can look a bit odd. It looks a bit more natural if they have gone in different directions. Okay, and that is this one done. So I'm just going to bring them all together. Okay, so that's my 4 cards done there. I hope you have enjoyed watching me have a little play and that you found it useful. It is a lovely paper kit. I would highly recommend it for the money, and you can make such beautiful things with it. So if you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch. I do appreciate it, and I will be back again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.